Good morning. Talesian here, and they've just released update 41.2 for Lord of the Rings Online. Patch notes are online, and figured I'd go over them with you real quick. First off, this is one of the updates for the Year of the Dragon, which is something they're doing in cooperation with Dungeons & Dragons Online, which is also run by Standing Stone Games, and Wizards of the Coast, which is making this the Year of the Dragon. So they're trying to interconnect everything all together. Of special note, and this is right up here, Before the Shadow is now free to play. All players now have access to Before the Shadow content that had been available for purchase in the LOTRO store. This is huge. Before the Shadow introduced a new starting zone, Swanfleet and Cardalon, a whole bunch of new things, and I really think I've played through the Before the Shadow content on my initial Hunter playthrough, and if I remember correctly, I'll try to put a link in the camera up here, and I'll try to put a link down below as well to my first videos about that. I really liked the Before the Shadow content. It was a little confusing to somebody who wasn't too familiar with things, but overall the content was good, and I actually thought that it was easier to get some resources for your crafters easier in the Before the Shadow content than I did in any of the other previous starting content. So that's something to think about if you're interested in crafting. With it now free to play, I may go back and redo it on the Angler server once I've gotten a character up to level 50. Now, there's also a free coupon for steeds. There'll be more later today at LOTRO.com. The link will arrive later this morning. So I would check that out. There's a little more information about it coming up. There is a new instance for the Year of the Dragon that starts at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, as this video has gone live. It'll be tomorrow, Thursday, August the 29th. The new instance is called The Dragon and the Storm. This instance is available for up to 6 players with level 150 characters. Kindred of the Coins member Rothog has sent the hunter Shayadel to acquire a fearsome dragon, and the story from the Tales of the Kindred storyline culminates into witnessing the conclusion of Rothog's quest to entertain the people of Umbar. The instance finder is available by default by pressing Ctrl-J. And there'll be more information about it. The link to that, the coupon code for a green drake portrait frame and a golden drakeling pet, will arrive later today. I don't know if I'll cover that in a video or if I'll do just a quick reel, or I may cover that tomorrow. Also, loot boxes and Filbert Fig have been updated. Seafaring Adventures Lively Essence boxes are now available for barter with the Adventurer's Quartermaster and have a chance to drop from the Adventure Steel-bound loot boxes. Adventurers and Travelers Steel-bound loot boxes now also contain new sophisticated birder cosmetic items, including an Avatar cosmetic outfit, Warseed accessory, Finch cosmetic pent, plus new Songbird housing items featuring the Magpie and Finch. These items are also available on Filbert Fig for Figments of Splendor. Additionally, the Spotted Jarova pet and the Steed of the Eldar are now available on Filbert Fig for also Figments of Splendor. Adventures and Travel Steel Lock Bounces now contain Sophisticated Burgers Pack and Magpie Cosmetic Pet, and Myrtle Mint has retired for this season. Now, Myrtle Mint and Filbert Fig are several rotating vendors that do old and new cosmetics as they come up. Sometimes on a yearly basis they'll come up. My main hunter has the Cairn Doom Alchemist cosmetic set that she wears on the Landroval server. It's really a nice set. I think it's very well done. So I'll be looking forward to seeing. I'll probably on stream. I'll stream by Filbert Fig, and I'll take a look at some of these cosmetics and see how they look. If they're anything like the previous stuff has been, should be very good and very worthwhile spending your figments. Now we'll come to the heart of the patch notes, which are the class and skill notes. This is the big one here. For all classes, the inherent threat multiplier for non-tank specializations has been reduced slightly. This is very important because it goes along with this one right here. In Update 41, a change was made to force taunts to prevent players from chaining taunts together. However, without broader changes to the threat system overall, this has had a negative impact effect and has been reverted. Force taunts should now once again overwrite one another as you are accustomed to. I've watched several Wraith fights where different force taunts would come into play, and the mob would tend to bounce back and forth very uncontrollably, which could be good and can be bad. I think this was a smart change because they need to redo the whole broader taunt system as far as LOTRO goes. And while I thought that the force taunt change was initially a good idea, it didn't plan out that way accordingly. So I think this is a good change. And then these are specific class changes. Strike to Sky no longer knocks enemies upwards in PvP. The captain who reformed the lines no longer has an uncapped target account, is now fellowship-wide, another line with group heals, which is good. The healing adjustment they did in Update 41.1, Valor heals were not compensated. This missed approximately 11% compensatory bump has now been added to Valor heals. That's going to make captains much more viable in healing for your healing content. And that's where they should be, so that's a good thing. Rend Bleed and Punishing Blow Bleed no longer right one another. Champions are going to love that. Pathfinder trait now properly displays the percentage inside the tooltip for hunters. Lore Master, of course, with the biggest changes came in then with Update 41. It would expect that they would have a lot of updates here in this update. And they cover such things as the Spirit Pet's Nature Bounty, Call to Valor is no longer erroneously resets the cooldown of Gust of Wind, Burning Gale. Lore Master pets now take a further negative 20% income damage when summoned while specialized in Ancient Master. That's going to be important too for keeping those pets alive. Sticky Gourd no longer applies Burning Embers dot for its duration. It will apply or tier up to an existing Embers dot instance when applied. Sticky Gourd's uptime is greatly overshadowing Gust of Wind, which was less efficient and requires a non-trivial trait investment to help spread embers in AoE situations. Deep Graspers can heal once again. Oh, thank God. That was important. You can now safely use the skill the Ancient Master while you currently have one Ancient Master charge. Using the skill while you had a single charge was breaking the skill and leaving you with 5 charges, but without your skills being modified by them. This has been corrected, so Ancient Master should function as intended, regardless of the status of your current Ancient Master. That's good too. That's good too. Lore Masters are going to be very happy with this update. Ring of Fire's barrier damage is reduced to PvMP. Nature's Fury is now a cleansable wound effect. Oh, I like that one too. That's very nice. Very nice change there. The Eagle's major skill, Fan the Flames, no longer tries to tear up any existence. This is the same effect that was earlier up here with Sticky Gourd. They changed it now to where it previously tied up an Embers dot. It now deals bonus instant damage each time it pulses when a burning Embers dot is present on its target. And that makes sense because you're fanning the flame, so it would be, this extra bonus. So that does make sense. Raven Skill Distraction once again applies a version of the Enrage effect that includes a 10% reduction to the target's range damage. That's good. Lightning Charge Staff Strike no longer erroneously benefits twice from the Staff Steel Damage Tracery bonus. Good thing they're catching this now because that's going to be nasty if it got to Moria. Moria, excuse me. When we got to the Moria expansion with all the LIs and stuff, and start adding in tracery bonuses to skills because some of those tracery skill bonuses can get nasty. And Warden's Desperate Combat, Warden's Desperate Combat is once again correctly disabled when your last charge is used up. That's good too. Here's an important one: crafting. Recipes for crafting Seafarer's Crafted Essence Boxes, allowing a selection of an item level 520 Seafarer's Essence, has been automatically granted to Umbar tier cooks, jewelers, metalsmiths, scholars, tailors, weaponsmiths, and workers. That's good because there always seemed to be a gap. I don't have a character that high, but I've been looking at some of the changes that they made and some of the crafting skills when they add the Umbar tiers, and this was a definite miss that I'm glad they finally corrected. A lot of the crafting skills one of the things that LOTRO has done over the years is they've actually made it so that if you're a crafter, you can get just as good, if not better, in some cases, items and essences than you can from real world stuff but not as good as raid stuff, which kind of makes sense. It makes sense in the scaling and the leveling of crafting skills. So I think this is a good thing to give them eye level 520 essence boxes, because I think you can get a higher eye level essence if you do raiding. So putting it right there at that level, I think, is correct. If I'm wrong, please correct me down below in the comments for those who have a little more experience there. But I thought it was something that was missing. So I think this was a good thing. There were a bunch of changes made to the hardtack event, messages that every 5 minutes or so. The accomplishment completions for the competitive rewards for prospectors and cook reduces for each tier. That's okay. That kind of brings it more in line with the Umbar Forester event. I think it was a little higher, so I think that brings it down in line. Mining nodes now require the use of a mining pick in the event space. That makes sense. Recipes should now all execute at 1 second. That's good, because some of those recipes were taking longer than 1 second. Using the oven now requires the use of cooking supplies in the event space. Using the oven now has a 25-second induction reduced by eating the foods crafted in the event space, as with other inductions in the event. That's a nice synergy that they've added. I think that will help out a lot. Duration of the effects of raw crafted food is now 4 minutes to match the cooldown on using the food. That's good. And ore extracted from the nodes now remains available for collection for 120 seconds instead of 90 seconds. Okay. The final reward of the Forester event has been increased to 20% participation ribbons. That's good. And here's something. The Nazgul will no longer reset their vitals on leaving combat. Oh, let me tell you, that's nice. I admit, my hunter, I tend to kite the lesser ring wraiths, and I've noticed that once you reach the end of their rope, they'll snap all the way back to the start, and they'll fully heal, and you can't do anything about it because the movement rate and such is so big. So I think this is good that they will no longer reset their vitals upon leaving combat. I don't know if that's going to apply for the lower level wraiths or not, but I knew it was a problem I was having with some of the wraiths. Because of the way I would kite them, I would most of the time I would hit that end rope, that end, and they'd snap back and fully heal. So hopefully this will fix that. There are some benefits in monster play. Now, I will admit I've not done a PvMP, so I really can't comment a whole lot on these changes. I really don't know if they're good or not. I might start doing some PvMP down the road, but I haven't yet, so I really can't talk about these. One of the things I have noticed, though, is, and this is an important one, reward titles for monster players and for players now have purchase restrictions, blocking players from errantly repurchasing a title they've already acquired. That's a good thing. Going into the questing and adventure areas portion, the Aaron Laskin quest, Mending the Mirkwood, can now once again be completed. Please note, however, that if you have acquired this quest, you need to drop it and re-get it, as they have changed over the required versioning in game behind the scenes to address the issue. So if you have this quest and you've not been able to complete it, please drop it and reacquire it so that you can complete it. Changed a couple of quests in Cardalon from 20 to 25, and made some changes to the rifts. Some Rift Iron, Obsidian, Barter items have been added to Rift chest containers. This is so raid groups where you cannot earn these items from defeating enemies are still able to earn some of these currencies. And Thrang's Sword and Thrarlock's Broken Chain Link now drop from their corresponding chest containers to only receive 1 each per victory, which will also now be obtainable by raid groups. So they fixed the 2 biggest problems for raids in the Rift, and that's good too. Because right now, with the Rift basically being the end game for the Mordor server, I think this was a good change. Because a lot of people are doing the Rifts now. They're starting to get up to that level. For the UI, the custom names that you give to carry-alls will now display properly, but the alphabetical sorting will continue to sort them by the default name. That makes sense, because the renaming is more of a you thing. It's not more of a system-wide thing, where alphabetical sorting is a system-wide thing, so it sort of makes sense here. It'd be nice if it did carry over, but I can understand them not wanting to do that. And Rivendell level 50 consumable potions now have their intended shadow and fire mitigation typing. Oh, thank God for that. That would have been nasty if I'd gotten that far and didn't get the extra shadow mitigation bonus from dealing with wraiths. Added public layering to several early regions of the game. That should help with crowding. And there were a number of quests in the Ettenmoors that were allowing players to use mithril to travel. Mithril travel has now been disabled. So basically, those are the updates for 41.2, the Year of the Dragon. I think overall it's a very good update. I think they've done a lot to fix some of the problems they came up with the 41. Looks like Lore Master's got a really big bump, and they need that. Overall, I think it's a good patch. Just as a reminder, I stream 4 days a week. I stream Lord of the Rings Online on Mondays and Fridays, and I stream Star Wars: The Old Republic on Sundays and Wednesdays. I also do other streams, Catch as Catch Can. If you follow me on Twitch, you'll get a little notification when I go live. Also, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button. It'll let you know when I do more content. Let you know when I upload my streams from Twitch if you follow them along that way. But all in all, that's the update notes I've got for you. And I look forward to seeing you in game, and I hope you have a good day. Take care.